Hey you guys, it's Amy Gretchen. So I'm currently working on my 2019 opener or title page for my project Life. And like I've done in several years past, I am using a 9 by 12 for the title. So I'm just gonna move this over so you can kind of see. I'm using Ali Edwards' Story by the Month, her kit that came out in December, and it's January themed. And so I'm just gonna set that aside because I actually wasn't going to film this because you can see it's actually pretty basic, and I was just gonna walk you guys through it, and I'll show it to you in just a minute. What I decided is I'm going to do a see-through element, and so I thought that I would walk you through this in case you might want to see. This is probably the most complicated thing I'm going to be doing in the whole spread. So I have some acetate. This is heat-resistant acetate, and it is from Hot Off the Press. I just got it from Amazon, I think last year, and I did use it in my title page last year and for some other things. And I'm going to be heat embossing right onto that acetate, which is why it needs to be heat resistant. So because I'm heat embossing, the first thing that I'm going to do is lay down with my anti-static powder tool, which just adds powder, because this heat acetate actually is really staticky and will really pick up on the embossing powder. So you want to make sure that you use a ton of that powder. Then I have this stamp here that came in the kit that says Life Right Now, and I'm going to repeat stamp that. And that's the reason why I've decided to use this MISTI tool, is because I want to be able to stamp it and then move my paper and continue to stamp so that I don't have to try and get it in the same place. Of course, now I'm thinking maybe it would be cool if it wasn't, you know, all in a row, but I guess that's how I'm going to do it this time. So I ended up using this this corner tool that you can buy separately. I put it in the corner. I just move this out of the way. I put this in the corner, and then I lined up my stamp here. Just lined up my stamp right there and then closed it down. And this ensured that I had it straight and that it was in a good placement here. So I'm just going to bring this back. All right, then I'm going to get my VersaMark ink, and I'm going to just generously put some of this VersaMark ink, which is a sticky ink, which is going to allow the embossing powder to stick to it. And I can kind of see it through the powder. And what I'm going to do here, what this is allowing me to do, is I'm going to move. In fact, if I did it, oh no, I'm not going to move it. I'm going to move it down a little bit. So let me make a note exactly where this is at. This is almost at 5.5. So let's move it down like 1/2 inch, and let's see where that's going to stamp. So that's definitely a little too high. So let's move it like 1/4 inch here and see how that goes. And sorry my head's getting in the way. I'm just trying to see where this is stamping. And 1/4 inch, I like that. So let's do this. Oh. And this is going to hang off the edge here, and it's totally going to be fine.
All right, you guys, so I thought I would just speed this up just to make it go a little bit quicker. It felt like it was kind of going on forever. So one of the things that I realized after I had stamped it that second time is I actually moved it down 5/16 inch. So I previously said 1/4 inch, but it was actually 5/16 inch. So if you want to do exactly what I did, then that is the spacing that I had. And just keep in mind that that corner tool that I used to originally make the placement of my stamp is 1/2 inch thick. So if you don't have that tool, you could just move it 1/2 inch up, and then I just did 5/16 inch. So it was just basically 5 little marks that I moved down. So keep in mind also that You could do this random stamping and I think it would look really cool. Like I had mentioned previously, if you don't have a MISTI tool or some kind of stamp positioner, you could just put the stamp on a block and then just randomly stamp it. And I think that could be really cool. Also, instead of having them all in a row, you could have some off to the left and some off to the right. So anyways, just keep that in mind. Also, I wanted to make mention that I decided to add one more at the bottom because there was quite a bit of space. And so I just put it back exactly where I started at, and then I moved it up 5 little notches or 5/16 of an inch, and then went ahead and stamped it again. So the next thing to do after you're done stamping is to add the embossing powder, and this is Hero Art's white embossing powder, and I just put it all over, and you can see actually how awesome this looks. I was really happy with how it looked. And making sure to use an anti-static powder bag to make sure that you do not get embossing powder all over is key when you're working with this acetate, because it is so staticky. It just wants to cling to all of that embossing powder. So make sure you use the bag. And then I got my heating tool nice and hot. You want to make sure it's nice and hot so you don't warp the plastic at all, even though the plastic is meant for heat. And I've never seen it warp like I have seen paper warp. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, you guys, doesn't it look really awesome? I accidentally got some embossing powder up at the top, but I think I'm going to be able to just kind of scrape that off. All right, so the next thing that I want to do is cut it down. So I intentionally made it bigger, so I didn't cut it all the way down to a 3x4 card so that I would have something to hold on to when I heat it up, and also when, you know, just when I was picking it up, because I've done that before and I've kind of wrecked my embossing powder. So that's why I made the piece a little bit bigger, and now I'm cutting it down. And you saw that I used that 3x4 card to kind of help me center it onto the card there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out. And you can see how awesome that looks with the joy on top. You guys, I was super happy with how that came together. All right, so let me show you my title page and how it has come together. So like I mentioned earlier, I always have a photo of everyone in the family, and sometimes it's one photo of all of us together, but typically with this page protector, it's all of us individually, of course, with my husband and I together. And I do always like to include black and whites just because it's easier to make all the photos like work together. And then the 3 cards that I included came from the Stories by the Month kit. So this is the December kit, but it's January themed. And then that black star that says Joy, that came from Ali Edwards' December Daily kit from 2018. And then the background, of course, that Life Right Now stamp came from the stamp set that came from the Stories by the Month kit as well. And then that chipboard element that says the story of now, that also came in the Stories by the Month kit along with all of those chipboards there. And then the 19 is actually a 1 and a 9 separated that I stapled together. And those numbers came from a Studio Calico kit from quite a while ago, but I've had it in my December Daily stash. So when I was actually looking through trying to find a number, I found those numbers right there to use, and I thought that they would be really cool, kind of stacked, and they are a little transparent also. So I think it'll be really cool when you see through to the other side. Anyway, you guys, I am excited to get started with 2019 and start documenting a whole new year. So honestly, I had considered moving to a 9x12. I think I just really needed creative change. I felt like I was getting a little bored with the 12 of 12 and the design A pockets, which is I think kind of why I've sort of like been slacking on those a little bit, even though I've been working on other projects. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized I take a lot of photos and I always have so many stories that I want to tell for each week. And I take so many horizontal photos that it just didn't make sense to me right now. So I've decided to stick with the 12x12, but I probably will intermix some 9x12 page protectors in there, just depending on what goes on during a week, because some weeks are a little bit slower than others and we'll have maybe a little bit less stories. So I'll probably then add in some 9x12 page protectors. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I really hope that you're able to get some inspiration for starting your 2019 album, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye.